One Human QCA Family is a local organization promoting a safe and diverse environment here in the Quad Cities. After an initial no-hate rally held on August 16th, there have been several reports of hate and violence in the area. The message of today's event, Rally for a Welcoming Quad Cities, was chosen to promote the diverse culture here in the area. A few locals have even explained they initially chose to settle down in the Quad Cities because of the cultural differences coming together as one community. The organization continues to hope the Quad Cities can become a welcoming and safe place for everyone, despite any differences. Anyone who has witnessed any hate or violence in the area is urged to contact their local authorities. In the newsroom, David Edge, Local 4 News. The atmosphere here in downtown Rock Island is something that's beginning to change. After hosting artist markets in the summer months, small business owners believe that they have acted as a stepping stone to more active Sundays here in the district. Many businesses have even began accumulating more hours to help accommodate for the increased customer flow. Established in 1917, Mount Zion Missionary Baptist Church is one of two local churches celebrating their 100th anniversary this year. The Monmouth College campus has finally become a part of the world's largest scavenger hunt. Lily Guillen shows us geocaching. Taking a look at some events on campus this week. Coming up on MCTV this week, see how Monmouth celebrated Family Weekend through a variety of activities and experience the Quad City's very own Fall Pride event. The Bix-Beiderbecke Music Society has just opened a new museum in the basement of River Music Experience in Davenport to promote the memory of the musician. To build the museum, it costs nearly $400,000. After donations, the society says they are still in need of around $75,000. Organizers are urging locals to donate to keep the 1920s jazz culture alive in the Quad Cities. Bix has reached not only people in the U.S., but also many others from around the United States.
The thing is, Bix is actually more popular in Europe than he is in his own country. And, you know, part of the thing is we hope to bring in people from other countries. And I know we'll get some, too, because they'll want to come and see this. They've been reading and hearing about these things for many years, and if they at all can, they're going to come here.
And some have already come to the U.S. from overseas, and they have a message for locals.
I think it's a really good thing, and I feel like for people that live in Davenport, it's on their doorstep, and I feel like people should perhaps appreciate what they have here. The music of Bix is very, very special to a lot of people. You know, I've travelled 3,000 miles to be here, and for there to be a permanent museum, I think is a wonderful thing, and people should really appreciate the fact that this museum exists and the fact that people have worked so hard to bring it to life. Because the music of Bix should be explored, and people should find these things out, and they need to find things out in a proper museum setting.
But it's not just his music that people are fans of. They say that Bix was not just a great musician, but a great guy as well.
If he wasn't a great gentleman, I wouldn't be his fan. I don't care how good he played if he was a jerk. But he wasn't a jerk. He was a good person. And he was flawed like many of us, and it shortened his life some. And of course, the fans shortened his life too.
Society hopes that the story of his big heart and great music will bring people through the museum. David Edge, Local 4 News. Located on 15th Street in East Moline, Freedom Fest is a free event for locals. After taking a short hiatus, this is the second year for the fest, and organizers say this is a great way to bring the community together as a whole.
I think events like this, it gives our crafters somewhere to show their wares. These are local artists. You know, it gives them somewhere to be. Also, the sense of community, I think, is really important with everything that's happening in the country. I think having this small town feel and this great community atmosphere is just incredible.
While some vendors chose to stay more traditional with their work, some were more unique.
I was kind of Googling different ways and different things to do with breast milk. And I came across a website where they make jewelry. And so I was like, you know what, I'm going to try this and I'm going to figure out how to do it, and I'm just going to do it.
And some vendors overcame life challenges to discover new hobbies.
I was in a really bad car wreck, near fatal car wreck. 7 years ago. I was hospitalized for a couple months. I lost total use of my arm. It's fused at the shoulder. It doesn't work from the shoulder down. I have 2 steel bars in my back. It's therapy. I just kind of started doing it. I make all kinds of things. I make little candle holders, snowmen, jewelry boxes, wooden bowls, anything you can turn on a lathe.
Freedom Fest continues throughout the night with live acts until midnight. After the success of this year, organizers are planning for an even better Freedom Fest next year. David Edge, Local 4 News.
Rock Island used to have an NFL team back in the 1920s, and they used to play down at Douglas Park. You know, we do this so the community, really, we've got a lot of people that had relatives that actually played on the team that come out, and they just, you know, it's an opportunity for the community to see what used to be here.
So I can remember when I was probably about 12 or 14, I had a helmet somewhat similar to this when I played football, because that would make it 1946. I heard an interview on the radio with Red Grange, and Red Grange played against Jim Thorpe of the Rock Island Independence way back. I think it was 1924. And when he played, it was his first time he was facing Jim Thorpe. And he said he played at the old Rock Island field, which probably was Douglas Park.
It's a great hometown story about this team that got started in 1906, 1908. Local guys then became part of the birth of the NFL as part of the American Professional Football Association.
So we're just trying to spread the word about the park and the history here, and just trying to replicate maybe something you'd see about 100 years ago, and get the community out, so everybody can see what it kind of used to look like back then, and just have some pride in what we used to have here.
The first thing you do is you learn band camp, and you go for a week, and it's like a couple hours. It's not too bad. Then in August, you have 3 days, a week long, 3 rehearsals a day, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. type thing. It's hot. It's horrible. Everyone just wants to become a puddle and die, but we get through it.
And we'll pump each other up, and then we'll just carry on, and then we'll make a quick few jokes here and there, and then we just try and stay optimistic.
We keep their focus on the end result, the performance, and how much the hard work up front means in the end. And also we encourage them to enjoy the process along the way, and it's all about people and relationships and sharing musical activity, and so we use those aspects to keep them focused and on the right track.
It shows all their hard work. They put all these kids, ours and from all the other schools, put a lot of hours in to prepare for this. Not just learning the music, but learning the coordination, the choreography for their positions.
We just think of our long-term goal of how awesome the show is going to look, and we just think of that. And then we just want to get through it, so then we get the entire thing done.
And we get an amazing reaction from the crowd. I always feel amazing and very proud.
I feel really proud of myself for memorizing it, getting all that in my head.